Right? Is that right?
What's that?
That was my phone. I was going to do a little. Yeah, I know it made a funny noise. Doink. So May and Vern, you were saying. May and Vern, Gordon Larisha's
And
parents.
Vern he could make, build, snack, he'd swim, stand on his her
Head? Stand on his head?
something, yeah.
Or hands? Could he stand on his hands?
I guess it was, yeah.
Mhm.
Because I was the bull fever, and I seemed to be able to get everything that you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
These styling, they were always doing something else. Was never.
Never a dull moment?
Yeah. But I just would ask for things and this piece made up. Or if we found something, we would take it home and all. Anyhow, Vern, eventually the last half, I guess, probably that much, because he was quite quite cloud with the children. They loved Verse he could make teas and
Mm-hmm.
different things, and he told that out. But we had a good cow together with all the things we had. We had Mother. There's one, Granny Sproul, Granny Black. No, Granny Sproul. Take that, Gran Sproul. Van. Okay. And the farm. And
Mm-hmm.
the Kofer. A man was next afterward, and I was there. He made a whole cabinet in making it with there you got. He says you got you something.
Just how did he make it? How did he do it? Just like, did he carve it with tools, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that wasn't his job, that was just a hobby?
No, oh no,
Wow.
And
So he could really do anything he put his hand
when we
to.
got up to the cottage. Now this is how our life worked.
Mm.
We had farms. It was such a wonderful sight. I was old enough to really take everything in.
Yeah. How old would
And
you
this
have
is-
been? About 10 or so?
We came up the Holly, up Richard, and you had to go up this road, and there was a long road, and then you could do what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was still Grandpa's. It was his. He had bought that piece of property.
Now, is this where you went when he said you can do whatever you want to do?
This is big plat.
Right. A big property? A big...
Big piece of property.
Right.
So we started putting all our stuff in there,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to do another one. So that made another again. Yeah, but it was
Subdividing?
It was a
Subdividing?
little bit smaller.
Or he was just buying more property all the
And
time?
East Bardmark now.
Oh.
And we let on those. Well, we broke them. They made me mad. I'm sure they were mad beside of them. But they knew that something was sort of rubbing Granny. And so I said one day, and I didn't know it, but I didn't think that I was all right.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty strong on voting and
Yes.
anything like that. The butt was the band I didn't like, and the ground.
You didn't like the band?
I didn't like the band. It was crummy.
Oh.
Like
fiddling? You didn't like fiddling?
they were crossed up.
They were not a very good band.
Yeah.
Was this at the hotel?
Yeah.
Or okay.
No.
So was it just this one particular time that you didn't like the band, or you didn't like the music they had all the time?
Yeah. I didn't like that.
Oh.
But
I thought you liked
Right.
fiddling music. Don't you like fiddle music? No?
With me, they never were in Clonglow either, or what?
Oh, I just was wondering whether it was just that one band that you weren't too crazy about, or whether you just didn't like any of that kind of music.
Well, I didn't think of it then because I actually when in high school
Yeah,
I joined the American
that's right.
band.
And what instrument did you play in high school? Do you remember? I'll give you a clue. Wait, look at my hand. Look at my hand.
Um,
It's a
I
wind
didn't even
instrument.
know. I wouldn't know.
Flute. You played the flute. You played the flute in your high school.
I guess it was something that probably was it, because he was with the he had to be home at a certain time and certain day.
Mm.
It was something with the man. I guess that was something with something else. The gray men workers, that whatever they were, we used to see a lot of things come in. I've got another book, I wonder if I ever packed that up. Graham Kenny Blackley had another.
A photo album?
Yeah, she could do anything.
I should ask Les to take a look around and see if he can find any more photo albums, and also ask Arlene if she has some photos, because we could do some more the way I laminated those pictures. If we have some more photos from your childhood, we can get them laminated, and then I could bring them in so that you could look. I remember there was that one picture of you with the skunk. Do you remember that picture, or do you remember what happened that day when you were holding the skunk? You were wearing overalls, and I think you were about 13. Do you remember that? It was a great picture of you up at the cottage with a skunk, dead skunk.
Well, maybe he came down after the mail had gone through, and then he was able to pick it up, and he took a pear, a puck or something, and he got up with the dad, Grandpa, and they went walking, and he wouldn't hold anything out. He's got a mouth.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, damn. He could take you all kinds of trees and tell you silly things, and he had a lot of fun. They were just great.
Sounds pretty nice.
Granny
It sounds like you did a lot of exploring and laughing.
It should be. That's just what they were.
So it sounds like a nice time to grow up. But what about the war? That must have been kind of a little scary time when the war got started.
The war?
The war, World War II. Was that kind of, do you remember that being sort of a scary time? I guess a lot of people in the family had went off.
Yeah, they could catch that. They got that. Actually, what did happen to us, I don't know who parked it up first. Probably me, because I started that all the time. So,
Yeah, the instigator.
it's always got somebody in trunk.
Trouble?
So okay, we went over one day, and they bought this land.
They bought the land?
They bought the land.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing. That was work till, oh God, that thing that landed, I don't know how long it was.
So was it like farmland? Would it have been fields?
Yeah.
And a fair amount? Like 20 acres or 10 acres?
Not chilly and jumpy, well, but they walked very quickly. When one day I went up there, and they asked if they could, Grandpa, tell her some tales.
Some tales?
And he said yes. And I wasn't paying any attention to him. And then he came up with something that I must have seen a pound that I didn't see. And he goes, oh! And I said, what's going on? Well, Grandpa lost that stand. He said, that spoiled it on that side there. I said, well, did you have to spoil that and tell her that way? That's not very nice. And they were very close together, the two of those, the darker one and the lighter son.
Mm-hmm. So hold on, whose sons were these? The darker and the lighter son. Who were they related? How were they related to you? Grandpa.
He just didn't. He didn't. There was something there for not some reason. I guess they had the idea they were going to take a chalk of some side.
A chunk.
So well, that's what they did. Yeah, that's.
They were going to divide the property up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They got the savvy or whatever they called it.
Surveyor.
Yeah.
Somebody to come in.
In the back was a little darling. Oh, I wanted that little cat. It was a little house, probably about this size here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was sure that would be just enough that I could fix it.
Oh, so it was like a little cottage on the property?
It was a tide of a patch. And let's see, and if that was a patch on the tree, what would I call it again? Well, it's just another one too. They could do as much as they could because Grandpa got that and that.
He owned all of it, right?
All that neighbor that he picked up.
So, what happened to the little house?
They're at the back. I bet they're still sitting here. There.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think they would have been?
It was Vern.
Mm-hmm.
Vern. That's what I used to call him.
Vern. Yeah. You didn't call him Uncle Vern?
Vern.
Just Vern.
Grandpa got black all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he enjoyed himself. He didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
He got in the car, the back of the car. Anybody want to go? Going to go. All right, come on. Everybody came in. They were all picked and came in.
Everybody squeezed in.
And we came up, and we only had a car that.
How many people would your car fit?
I don't know. It was quite small.
Yeah, so maybe like fit 6 people comfortably and no more than that?
Yeah, we had a marvelous time. We go up the Cape. Of course, my dad, and maybe 2 others started chopping.
Mm-hmm.
Trees coming down that looked as though that they could come down.
Chopping trees down?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I loved it.
You were
took it
you
down.
were like a lumberjack.
Oh, yeah, I did.
So, did you have those saws where one person holds one end and the other person holds the other end, and you saw back and forth? I can't remember what they're called. I don't like to use them. Bow saw. They're called a bow saw.
Yeah.
Because you've got to really pace yourself with the person on the other end.
If you want to come over, and we're going to make two key sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids didn't like it. I didn't like them playing with that. That's.
Dynamite. Dynamite?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not a good way to take trees down. Kind of dangerous.
What did we do about it? Oh, we let it array or something.
Because they didn't have chainsaws invented yet by that time, did they? They didn't have saws that were electrical yet. So it was all hand tools.
Well, we had that. You know, we've talked about certain things that you think that you wouldn't know at all. But anyhow, one day we were going downtown, and Les and Gordon, just dead, and Jenny, his funny little girl was John Finney or Finney Fush or something.
Mm-hmm.
was these just so that the children don't check on their appointment.
Right.
So anyhow, I said, well, now, if you can do that, make it up and make a nice patch for it. That would be lovely. That would just be lovely. And people would say, anybody could go along, you'd say, excuse me, that's my little house. Well, he was quite happy. Grandpa, so I took Gordon. I took, it was Gordon was too small.
Gordon Larish?
Gordon, our
Gordon.
Our Gordon.
Your Gordon.
Yeah, our
Yes,
Gordon.
okay.
and we laid him back because he was quite small, but he was still running around making everybody looking silly. And so we went somewhere, and I said, well, let's see if I can find a book or something he can see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought that I could see, but he couldn't see at that time.
He couldn't read yet.
No.
Because he was, what, 2 years old
So
or
one
something?
of the boys said, well, I can do it, Grandpa. Okay, that's okay. We've got Grandpa. We all fixed up, Grandpa. It's time, and you can go back to the house and see if you can get in
Mm-hmm.
and look at it. I'd love to see it. There was a wall that was on one that I wish I don't know, but I don't. Oh, it's gone now, long ago. I thought it was over, but it's not. They took it over to this hill,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a big hump, just a perfect hump, way up like that, and then down, and long way down to the water, it's water, not water. It's the grass and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Field.
Yeah.
Be perfect for sledding.
Yeah, it was, but you get a couple of them. They come. I was always, as good dad used to say, Gordon's dad used to say, yeah, she's always at the head of the block. How come? Well, I don't know. You're just always shoving your way around.
That's what Les said? Yeah, well, you like to get things done.
Oh,
That's what, that expression, the greasy wheel gets the grease. No, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Or the other one is, no, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. That's the expression. It just means if you go, wee, 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 somebody will grease you. So.
That makes me
What does? What that particular expression? You don't like the squeaky wheel?
No, we don't like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I was saying that's what Les was saying, that you were the squeaky wheel, always getting the grease.
Yeah, he came when he came with his life and what life he has left for his catch.
Mm.
He did really well. The girl and got into the cup there. Well, they had a real nice house, the nice gate around a place that I was.
Was this Grandpa that you're talking about?
This
The
was, as I
blacks.
say,
Yeah.
I would like to see if I could get a shale, that one you can put on a table, and it's a share
Tablecloth?
Yeah.
Is it lace?
Oh, what did you say?
Tablecloth.
Typical.
Tablecloth? Is
First one. Was there another scene?
I was just thinking that tablecloth, or placemats. Or are you thinking about something that you had on the table a long time ago that you'd like to have?
We came out to
Out to Vancouver?
No.
Oh.
It was so animal. It was. Dad said it. My said that wouldn't stand it.
Oh, was it made of lace?
And they were they put it away, and then they got it up pretty high,
Uh-huh.
and two boys that were working, that were getting their tea paper, and it would come to your door.
Mm-hmm.
And those, I could almost do it myself. Shush. It was a slushy came in. It was a funny name that he left it to throw it to
Yeah.
Cap.
Oh, is that when they were going around from door to door?
Yeah,
Like doing
yeah.
things like, is that people who would come from door to do stuff like sharpen knives or selling lace? Did they sell lace? Did they sell table linen that way?
This is because we had this public school,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all for brand new. This is Granny and Grandpa, Mother and Dad were in the other place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the other place, the older ones now, they come. We went for quite a long while. We could always ride a horse or try something to get us out there. But we didn't make it. anyhow, but we decided we'd just walk. So we went up walking, and then the farmer there would come out and let us horse around, make a mess, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But they did get a patch made that he could make to carry something, things.
Like an area to have
Just
like
things
farm
that-
machinery and
Yeah,
stuff.
well, just some things that they might want to have some people for to eat, and
Like,
something, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know what they wanted. Food, mostly.
Yeah.
It's kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't go there at all. I don't know how long we had that. And I didn't see it at all.
So this property was in addition to where your granny and grandpa lived in Montreal, or did they live on this property all the time?
Oh, that was rated, and well, it would be around 20 something in the Gutch. So it's not me.
What?
I just thought I felt something.
Oh, well.
But that was we could have calf marks. We could leave marks where a bras went through. Who went through?
Bathing suits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got so I could do it quite well. I was very happy. Anyhow, Grandpa and Granny go up to the Father weekend. They bought whenever everything is settled. They thought they could get up to the cottage. That it wouldn't be too bad for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if we could fix. Then Gordon, they called him Gordon.
Goddardin.
Called him Gordon. Yeah, that's what they put on it, Gordon.
Oh, they called it Gordonville, didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't they make up their own name for the place?
Yeah.
They called it Gordonville.
Gordon, they
Yes.
called him.
But you told me a couple of years ago, and I never knew this, I thought that the place that your grandparents went to was called Gordonville, but you told me a few years ago they just made it up. They just called it
Yeah.
Gordonville because it was the Gordons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Gordonville.
Oh, that place, it's still up.
Yeah.
It's still Les did so much. My Les
Mm-hmm.
went up so much that.
Oh, he went up on the weekends and helped fix it up and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Arlene ever go there? Does she told you what
Oh,
it's like there?
yes,
Did you
she
go there
knows.
the last time you were in Montreal?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
so it must be changed.
Well, that's J. Jones Refutos now.
Yeah. Obviously, since you were little, there would be a
But,
lot of changes of owners.
They've done it. I'd like to go back if we go up now, and I must try that and see if Gordon wants to. See if wants any to show anybody down to see where the old. Oh no, they put it into a tiny place.
They-
like this, sort of like this.
Did they divide it up into tiny
And
little
it did-
lots?
No, it just made things for kids to play with,
Oh.
and they had to be home by a certain time. And it has to be clean.
Mm.
You can't put that back up for the next person wanting to go on that pen.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids are good. They know all these some of these things.
Some of the rules.
Yeah, some of the rules.
Yeah.
And well, it's funny how the things. I can still see it. I was out in the beach. Well, I was in the house. And then I came in, and I knew I had some fevers or something. I never go anywhere without any fan to pick those things.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what we called it.
Well, give me a hint. Describe it a little bit more. I'll see if I can think out.
Yeah.
You never went anywhere without mints.
Mint.
Mints? Like, what do they call those things? They're toffees. Toffees? Was it something to suck on? Is that what it was? Something that you would eat?
No.
No. Something that you would write with? You said you never went anywhere without them. What was it that you always took with you?
Tavel. Tavel. The Sposs Road. And there was a rush. We watched it, we pushed it, and put puff all over it, so it was clean and tidy. And we lived in that place all the time. So a lot in that tea. And they used to call me because Dad gave me a key for the car.
Oh.
Well, we decided that was perhaps a little bit too much for us. But anyhow.
How old were you?
Oh, I don't know how old you were.
How old were you if he gave you the key to the car? Were you a teenager, like 17, 18 kind of thing?
Well, I don't know where this was.
Mm.
They very, very occasional. We never had a fireplace anywhere. Never. And they were up there 60 some years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah. They just, every year we made it. And I had a little fence too. I had a little, it was it's a club. I'm going to go if we go up. I'm going to go and see if there's any track of it. But there were long, these trail things that used to get in with something. It was, the tea came down. It was and when it came down, it was like a little half a hose. And it came in and would fall curly, smooth neck. And the kids used to play with those all the time. Can you put this in? Can you put this in? And we were looking for a certain time. But we played on that place so many times.
It's kind of nice, isn't it? Sort of carefree. You don't have to...
Am I missing a piece?
I don't think so.
Yeah, my son. For here.
Your son for here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Vancouver. Have you seen him lately? Here, Gordon?
What was I hitting?
I don't know. What were you thinking about just then?
Yeah. But they would watch, they looked at cards. They would go along this way or that way or up the way or anything. They never stopped walking and doing things for those kids. Oh yes, every minute.